Hi, thanks for joining me on the Listen Up Girl podcast, the podcast that keeps you in the know about everything LGBTQ plus news, culture, and community. I'm your host, and today we have a packed episode. We're talking about queer Jews leaving Orthodox communities, anti-LGBTQ plus writers and a State Department funding bill, a historic crime victory in the UK, and a trans woman making pageant history in Puerto Rico, and much more. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about LGBTQ people leaving Orthodox Judaism. This story can be personal, painful, and a lot of us in the LGBTQ plus community can connect with it, even if we did not grow up as an Orthodox Jew. An increasing number of queer Jewish people are leaving the Orthodox religion, either moving towards more progressive denominations or walking away from religion entirely. And the stories behind why are complicated and heartbreaking. Shlomo Sat is a 30 years old male but at 13, he saw a newspaper article about gay marriage and everything shifted. Growing up Orthodox on Long Island, he immediately felt the weight of what is meant to be gay in the community. He told uncloseted media and Gay Times, "In my community, it's very shunned to be gay. It was really, really hard for me to accept that I was attracted to other men." By 15, internal pressures became unbearable. He went to a school psychologist who was part of the Orthodox community and told him he might be gay. The response, "We can fix that." And Shlomo, desperate for a way out, felt relief. For the first 3.5 years, he went through conversion therapy, a practice that is widely discredited and causes serious harm. It didn't work because it never does. When it failed, something cracked open. He started questioning everything he'd been taught. "I didn't choose to be gay, I was just gay," he said. With the help of an affirming trauma therapist, he built his relationship with Judaism and left Orthodox religion, but not his faith. He's now a post-denominational Jew, married to his longtime partner and pursuing rabbi school. The cost, he lost contact with all of his family. And that's not an uncommon story in that religion or any religion that's that strict. Next, anti-LGBTQ plus writers and State Department funding bill. Moving to Capitol Hill and things are bad. 5 anti-LGBTQ plus measures have been buried inside the State Department's funding bill for fiscal year 2027. 5 in one bill. The Congressional Equality Caucus is sounding the alarm, and they should be. The lowlights, a ban on pride flags on federal buildings, and so-called trans global gag rule. That would prohibit any organization receiving State Department funding from even acknowledging that trans people exist. Not banning trans services, banning the acknowledgement of trans existence. Full stop. This is real. This is moving through the appropriations process right now, and we need people paying attention. They are really trying to do everything they can to erase trans people. It's so sad. Next, Pennsylvania passes LGBTQ anti-discrimination bill. So now let's talk about some good news because we need it. The Pennsylvania House of Representatives passed an anti-discrimination bill protecting LGBTQ plus people. House Bill 2103 passed by the slimmest possible margin, 101 to 100. One vote, and that vote mattered. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Republicans who voted against it claimed the language was too vague and worried, specifically that it would allow trans women and girls to use facilities that match their gender identities. The bill does include religious liberty protections, still wasn't enough for some members. It now heads to Pennsylvania Senate, and we'll be watching. Next, UK anti-LGBTQ hate crime and aggravated offense. So big news across the pond, and this one is genuinely a win. The UK has officially made anti-LGBTQ plus hate crime an aggravated offense. On April 29th, the Crime and Policing Bill received royal assent after a 2-year campaign led by the UK LGBTQIA plus charity Stonewall. Here's what that means in practice. Previously, crimes motivated by race or religion carried stronger penalties than hate crimes targeting LGBTQ plus or disabled people. The disparity is now gone. Under this new law, crimes against LGBTQ plus people will carry longer sentences. The 6-month investigation time limit is being removed, and the new category of sex is being added to hate crime legislation. Stonewall CEO Simone Blake, OBE, said everyone deserves to feel safe to be themselves without the fear of harm. After years of rising hate crimes against LGBTQ plus communities, this law is a meaningful step forward. Legal recognition that anti-LGBTQ violence is serious matters, especially right now. Next, trans women in Miss Universe Puerto Rico. So let's talk about Gabriel Rodriguez Velasquez because she deserves her flowers. Gabriel is representing the city of Sidra in the 2026 Miss Universe Puerto Rico pageant, making her second openly trans woman ever to enter the competition. That is history. And of course, because we can't have nice things, she has faced a wave of transphobic attacks online and from politicians. The president of Puerto Rico's Senate took the time out of his day to weigh in on the negativity on the pageant's contest identity, which tells you everything and where his priorities are. But Gabriel is in that competition. She is wearing her municipality. She is making history. We will see you, Gabriel. We are cheering for you. So good luck. I hope you win. Next, the poll that will make your blood boil. Okay, this one, sit down if you aren't already. A recent poll found that more Americans believe gay is morally wrong than believing hitting a child is morally wrong. So let that sink in. More people are comfortable with a child corporal punishment than with two people of the same gender loving each other. We are still fighting battles that should have been settled decades ago. But we cannot be complacent. We cannot be quiet. Next, 1 Million Moms versus Megan Fox's deodorant ad. So let's get on something a little lighter because I need a good laugh. 1 Million Moms is furious about a deodorant commercial, specifically Dr. Squatch ad featuring Megan Fox as a professor at a fictional school called the Foundation for Odor Excellence, or FOX. The tagline is, "Let your stick do the talking," as in a stick of deodorant. 1 Million Moms called it vulgar and full of highly suggestive sexual innuendos. They clutched their pearls over Megan Fox's leather outfit, and of course, they made sure to mention she's bisexual, because that's relevant to deodorant somehow. The ad is still airing, Megan Fox is still in leather, the deodorant is presumably still working, and 1 Million Moms remain very busy for no reason. Moving on to the next story, Trans Plus History Week. Before we go, a moment of recognition. This week, starting on May 4th, Trans Plus History Week 2026, dedicated to celebrating the long global history of trans, non-binary, and gender-diverse and intersex people. Wednesday, May 6th is Trans Plus History Day, the anniversary of the 1933 Nazi raid on the world's first trans clinic in Berlin. Magnus Hirschfeld's Institute for Sexual Witchcraft, I'm not German speaking, sorry. Decades of irreplaceable research and resources destroyed. The books burned. Trans people survived that. They survived every attempt to erase them. They are here. They have always been here, and they will always be here. And we need to honor it, learn from it, and share from it. So let's all take a moment this week and celebrate Trans History Week. And that's a wrap on today's episode of Listen Up, Girl. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. These stories matter. You matter. If this episode resonated with you, please be sure to share it with someone that needs to hear it. Leave a review, subscribe, and come find me on social media at The Real Zachary on YouTube and on Instagram. I'll see you tomorrow with more news. Stay loud, stay proud, and listen up, girl.